Hi guys, this is just a quick trigger warning. This episode does discuss murder and may be disturbing to some listeners. Please take care. Hello my cozy crime crew and welcome back to our snug corner of storytelling, Cozy Cults and Crimes. I'm Bubbles, and as we nestle into our favourite spots, let's unravel today's case, a story stitched with mysteries woven with the fabric of destiny. In the vast urban quilt of New York City, where the Durst Organization's towers reach for the sky, we find Robert Durst. Unlike the crystal panes of those lofty buildings, his life was a patchwork of secrets, a chronicle embroidered with dark events that trailed him like silent echoes. The vanishing of his cherished wife, Kathie, the startling demise of his confidant and best friend, Susan Berman, and the disturbing end of his neighbour, Morris Black, aren't just threads in Durst's tapestry. They are puzzles cloaked in the shadows of his remarkable existence. Let's explore Robert Durst's fascinating story together. We'll uncover the intricate details of his life, mainly through the captivating documentary series The Jinx, which drew global attention to this unique saga and became an integral part of the case. What insights will Durst's tale offer about the influence of wealth, the magnetism of media, and the dance of truth that eludes our grasp? The life of Robert Durst is not solely a public spectacle. It's also a profoundly human tale of family and the lasting impressions of childhood. In the serene suburbs of Scarsdale, nestled among whispering trees, the saga of Robert Durst took root. Born to the prestigious Durst family, young Robert was cradled in the lap of luxury, poised to inherit an empire that sculpted New York City's skyline. Yet, beneath the golden leaves of this affluent life, a tragedy lay buried, its tendrils destined to entwine with his fate. The untimely loss of his mother, Bernice, cast a long shadow over Robert's childhood. Her tragic departure from this world, an unfortunate fall from their home's rooftop, left ripples of sorrow that would touch every corner of his young heart. The memory of that fateful day, as recounted by Robert, was a scene of such gravity that it seared itself into his very being. Yet this memory stands contested by his younger brother Douglas, casting a haze of doubt over the clarity of the past. As Robert wandered the halls of his youth, from the storied corridors of Scarsdale High to the scholarly avenues of Lee University, a sense of disconnection trailed him. It was as though a piece of his essence lingered in the ancient days, unable to move beyond the loss that defined his early years. His pilgrimage to UCLA brought him new bonds, notably with Susan Berman, hinting at a longer for deeper ties. Yet it seemed his journey was forever drawn back to the darkened corners of his beginnings. A pivotal chapter unfolded when Robert's father Seymour bestowed the family legacy not upon the eldest son Robert, but his younger brother Douglas. This action caused a divide that deeply affected their relationship. Douglas has been quoted to say that Robert treated him miserably, revealing the bitter roots of their discord. This was no mere skirmish over business. It was a duel for recognition, a battle for a place within a lineage where one's name was quite literally etched in stone. My cosy crime crew. As we leaf through Robert's early chapters, we uncover a story interwoven with privilege and heartache. A prelude to the intricate tapestry of a man who stood on the threshold of greatness yet remained shackled by the ghosts of his past. And as we continue to turn the pages of Robert Durst's life, we come upon a chapter that casts probably the longest shadow over the narrative. It's a chapter that begins with a question mark that has lingered in the air like a chill that never entirely faded away. The year was 1982, a time of uncertainty that would forever mark the life of Kathie McCormick Durst. On January 31st, Kathie's presence was erased from the world as we know it. Her husband, Robert, claimed to have last seen her at a train station in South Salem, bound for their apartment in New York, Manhattan, New York. Yet, as the days passed, silence filled the air where her voice should have been. The search for Kathie became a tapestry of dead ends and haunting questions. Her fate remains a mystery to all those who seek the truth. The marriage of Kathie and Robert, once painted with the hues of romance and social galas, was marred by a storm brewing beneath the surface. Whispers of abuse and control bled through the canvas of their life together, culminating in a harrowing story where Kathie was forced to endure an abortion against her will. That was Robert who forced her to do that. Kathie's family saw the brushstrokes of Robert's dominance and aggression, a portrait of pain hidden behind closed doors. The quest to uncover the truth behind Kathie's disappearance was a path fraught with obstacles. Robert's reluctance to aid the investigation, his removal of Kathie's possessions from their life together, and the elusive nature of concrete evidence created a labyrinth for the investigators. Early oversights, such as the dismissal of domestic abuse claims, were later acknowledged by the Westchester County DA's office, a misstep though that time couldn't undo. Amidst the silence, rumours and theories swirled around like autumn leaves. Was Robert involved in Kathie's vanishing? Did she flee to escape the storm that their marriage was? The whispers of neighbours and the fears confided to friends painted a chilling picture of a life on the edge. The ripples of Kathie's disappearance have touched the hearts of many, leaving an indelible mark on her family, friends, and all who hear her story. The McCormick family's unwavering search for answers is a beacon for hope in the quest for closure. As we continue to weave through the intricate narrative of Robert Durst, we now arrive at a juncture where past and present collide. The disappearance of Kathie McCormick left a question that echoed through the years, a haunting melody in the symphony of a mystery. In the wake of Kathie McCormick's vanishing, the world Robert Durst knew transformed into a labyrinth of legal battles and the relentless spotlight of public scrutiny. Despite the shroud of suspicion cast by law enforcement and Kathie's family, Durst remained ahead of the prosecution, navigating a reality far removed from the ordinary. Durst's life in this period was a mosaic of relocations and attempts to blend into the background. Yet the ghost of Kathie's absence never faded away from public consciousness, especially as Durst found himself entangled in legal disputes over his family's real estate dynasty and other legal difficulties. Here we find Robert Durst, a man once cloaked in the privilege of New York City's skyline, now seeking the shadows of secrecy in a place far removed from the life that he once led. In the coastal enclave of Galveston Bay, Texas, Durst's path crosses with that of Morris Black, setting the stage for a case as confounding as it is chilling. In the year 2000, Durst, burdened by the new investigation into his wife Kathie's disappearance, led by the Westchester DA at the time, Janine Pirot, he sought to vanish within the fabric of a city far from the life he once knew. Assuming the guise of Dorothy Siner, a mute woman whose identity he, quote, borrowed, Durst embraced a life of seclusion in a modest apartment, a stark departure from his former opulence. But the quiet tides of Galveston Bay would soon reveal a grim secret. It was here that the dismembered remains of Morris Black were discovered. A chilling find that would entangle Durst in a new web of suspicion. A receipt with Durst's name, found among the scattered remains, became the thread that connected him to the gruesome scene. Now, some police go back to Black's residence to find blood that has been attempted to be cleaned up in the common hallway between Black's apartment and the apartment next door. The person who lived there? A mute woman. While police investigated those leads, Detective Cody Cazares was led to a modest glasses store following the crucial receipt found at the scene. There, he instructed the staff to page him if the mysterious individual with the last name Durst were to appear. The tension hung heavy in the air. It was a puzzle piece waiting to fall into place. And then it happened. The pager crackled. Urgent and electric. Detective Cazares raced towards his car, adrenaline coursing through his veins. As he'd arrived, there was Durst, unsuspecting, caught in the crosshairs of justice. The traffic lights blinked their rhythm, unaware of the high-stakes encounter unfolding right in front of it. In that charged moment, Detective Cazares confronted Durst, the man whose name had haunted the investigation so far. The dismembered remains, the chilling scene, it all converged at this intersection of fate. Durst's eyes met the detective's, and time seemed to stretch, a silent battle of wills. The glasses store, once mundane, now held the weight of truth. The mystery was starting to unspool, thread by thread, as Durst stood there, unknowingly ensnared. And in that fleeting instant, justice edged closer and closer, casting its long shadow over the quiet streets of Galveston Bay. The air was heavy in the courtroom, the gravity of evidence laid bare. Bloodstains and the remains of a hasty clean-up effort painted a haunting picture within Durst's dwelling. The defence spoke of a tragic accident, a struggle over a firearm that ended in an unintended unaliving. Yet the prosecution saw malice in the methodical dismemberment, a deliberate act to obscure a heinous crime. The jury, facing a tale of panic and desperation, found resonance in the narrative of an accidental killing. Durst's acquittal, yes, you heard me right, Durst's acquittal on the murder charge left many, many questions unanswered. A verdict that would echo in the annals of criminal history. And here we leave behind the murky waters of Galveston Bay and the tragic tale of Morris Black. Our journey through the labyrinth of Robert Durst's life brings us to another pivotal chapter, though. It is a chapter that beckons us back to the bustling streets of Los Angeles, where the life of one Susan Berman unfolds. A life interlaced with loyalty, literature, and legacy. Here, my cosy crime crew, we encounter a friendship born in the hallowed halls of academia, tested by time and turmoil. We stand at the precipice of a story that asks us to consider the price of silence and the weight of secrets carried throughout the years. Susan Berman, the daughter of a Las Vegas gangster, was no stranger to the shadows cast by the underworld. Her father's own legacy loomed large, but it was a mantle she bore with grace and pride, channeling her experiences into a career as a crime writer. Her memoirs, including the notable Easy Street, were a testament to her resilience and ability to navigate organised crime's murky waters. Throughout their friendship, Durst was a pillar in Berman's life, providing financial support and standing by her side through life's milestones. He walked her down the aisle at her wedding. And in turn, Berman was the staunchest ally to Durst, especially when the spectre of Kathie McCormick's disappearance cast a pall over his life. She managed his public relations with the agility of a seasoned professional, even when rumours swelled and suspicions grew. But it was this very trust that prosecutors later argued led to Berman's untimely demise. In the winter of 2000, just before Christmas, she was found murdered, her life cut short by a bullet. This crime would eventually see Durst in the defendant's seat again, facing the consequences of a bond that turned fatal. The trial that ensued was a spectacle that not only gripped the nation of America, but the world. Prosecutors depicted Durst as a man who would go to great lengths to silence those threatening to reveal his darkest secrets. And the evidence presented was pretty compelling, especially the cadaver note that directed authorities to Berman's body. Durst's long-standing denial crumbled when his attorneys admitted that he did pen the note. This revelation placed him at the very crime scene. Now, the proof of Durst's authorship of the cadaver note came to light in the HBO series The Jinx. A letter found in Susan Berman's belongings bore handwriting strikingly similar to the cadaver note. This detail would become a cornerstone of the prosecution's case. Handwriting analysis, witness testimony, and Durst's own chilling words captured on a hot mic. Quote, "Killed them all, of course," end quote, wove a narrative that left very little room for doubt. In 2021, Durst was finally convicted of the heinous murder of Susan Berman. This long awaited verdict marked the end of a gripping saga that revolved around the intricate dynamics of friendship and betrayal. This trial also served as a poignant reminder of the extraordinary lengths people are willing to go to safeguard their deepest and darkest secrets. Ultimately, it underscored the unwavering and timeless power of truth in unravelling even the most complex webs of deception. And as the gavel falls on the trial of Susan Berman, we now shift our gaze from courtroom to the small screen, where the saga of Robert Durst unfolded in a different light. We're entering the world of the Jinx, the life and deaths of Robert Durst, a documentary series done by Andrew Jarecki that peels back the layers of a mystery that has captivated the entire world. The HBO documentary series The Jinx cast a spotlight on the dark corners of this mystery, with Robert's words fanning the flames of suspicion. His off-camera confession, a slip of the tongue that reverberated through the halls of justice, became the key that reopened the doors to an investigation. Part 1 of this groundbreaking series, crafted by Andrew Jarecki, as I said, takes us through Durst's strange and tumultuous history. It explores the still unsolved disappearance of his wife Kathie, the, at the time, unsolved murder of his confidant and best friend Susan Berman, and then his baffling case around Morris Black. And through meticulous compilation of evidence, interviews, and Durst's own unsettling statements, The Jinx invites us to look closer at the man behind the headlines and how creepy he really is. And then 9 years later, yes, 9 years later, Part 2 continued the investigation, unveiling material once shrouded in secrecy. Prison calls that echo with Durst's really unique voice, go look his voice up. And testimonies of witnesses who had remained silent until the series called. This continuation sheds light on the 8 years following Durst's infamous hot mic confession, quote, "Killed them all, of course," and offered new insights into the intricate dance of evasion and exposure. The public's view of Durst, once a figure shrouded in ambiguity, has been forever shaped by the Jinx. The series not only captivated audiences with its chilling narrative, but also played a pivotal role in the legal odyssey that followed. Durst's whispered words, "Killed them all, of course," reverberated beyond the confines of a bathroom, contributing to a shifting perception of a man long suspected of some pretty heinous crimes. Today, the impact of the Jinx is undeniable. It has not only set a new standard for true crime storytelling, but has also underscored the media's profound influence on the pursuit of justice. The McCormick family's ongoing civil lawsuit against Durst's estate, fueled by the series' revelations, continues their relentless quest for answers and accountability. And as for Durst, after his trial and sentencing for the murder of Susan Berman, he tested positive for COVID-19. He was hospitalised and placed on a ventilator. And ultimately, cardiac arrest claimed his life in January of 2022. The man who once roamed the corridors of New York City skyscrapers, his family's real estate empire, now rests in a prison grave. His legacy remains one of violence, unanswered questions, and a trail of victims left behind. And so, my cozy crime crew, as we reach the end of today's journey, a path that has taken us through the twists and turns of a story that continues to intrigue and confound. We've delved into the depths of Robert Durst's complex life, witnessed the power of documentary filmmaking in the Jinx, and pondered the elusive nature of truth. And as the curtain falls on this episode, we are reminded that the quest for justice is never truly over. The stories we share are chapters in an ongoing narrative, each a piece of this giant puzzle that challenges our perceptions and ignites our curiosity. Now, also, as we do prepare to part ways, I want to extend a heartfelt invitation to you guys, my culty crime crew. If you are curious about a cult or a crime story that you think needs to be told, I invite you to email me at cozy.cults.crimes@gmail.com. That's cozy.cults.crimes@gmail.com. Your interests and insights help me shape these episodes, and I hope together we can continue to uncover the mysteries that lie hidden in the shadows. Now, if today's episode has touched you, if it stirred something within, please take a moment for yourself. Practice self-care, reach out to a friend, or enjoy a warm cup of tea wrapped in your dressing gown, hoodie, or comfy clothes, whatever makes you happiest. Look after yourselves, because it's in looking after our own souls that we find the strength to face the complexities of life. Until next time, keep that flame of curiosity burning, but never forget the warmth of the fires that keep us all connected. Be well, stay cozy, and remember, in pursuing truth, we always hope to find the light. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Bubbles, and I look forward to our next encounter in the cozy world of cozy cults and crimes. I'll see you next time. Bye!